How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Down to Earth with Christian Harloff. This is our Monday through Friday daily UAP news channel where we cover the latest and greatest going on in the world of the UAP phenomenon. Now, if you're brand new to the channel and you've never been here before, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 20,000 subscribers. I think we can do it. You hit the button, you'll be part of it. There's a lot of news today, man. There's a lot of different things, but I wanted to cover this stuff. Tim Burchett was on Ross Coulthart yesterday, and Tim Burchett is one of the main people in Congress who are running or trying to get disclosure out there and trying to get information out for a very long time. And so he had a conversation about things that he's had, and he said one of the first things that happened to him when he was there is that somebody came up to him and said, don't chase this, don't do this, because people wouldn't be able to handle it. People aren't going to be able to handle it. There'd be riots in the street. He's like, well, what are you talking about? He's like, that wouldn't happen. So, well, let me play the clip first. This is the actual clip of Tim Burchett.
People would riot. I mean, I was told that, it was kind of weird. I was in the tunnel, one of the tunnels, Capitol, they're public, they're open now since COVID, whatever, after COVID. And it was kind of weird. A guy walked up to me that I knew and said, Tim, he said, we really don't need to put this stuff out. And I was like, what? He said, yeah. He said, people couldn't handle it. There'd be riots. And I'm like, riots by who? I could go to East Knoxville and have a forum on it. I could go to West Knoxville and have a forum. I could go to Loudon, Lenoir City, Dandridge, wherever. I can Claiborne County or Granger County. You know what? People would say, I think there's something out there. I want to know the dadgum answer. I don't care their color, their socioeconomic background, or anything else.
I agree. I know we're basically already touching up on it, but with the UAP task force set up, is there a consensus that this is non-human intelligence, that these are not anything relative to this earth or created on this earth?
Among congressmen there is, I feel, but I don't believe in the intelligence community they're permitted to say that.
So I got to be honest, I think that's the bigger story there, is that at the end of it, because any single time Tim Burchett has given answers and talked to media, and he's out there a lot talking to media, he usually says the same thing. He's got like a notebook of certain things that he says, and one of the things that he usually says is like, it's not about little green men. He always says that all the time. Not a lot is about asking the questions about the money, not about little green men. But when that question was asked directly, he said, well, within Congress, people are pretty convinced that it ain't human intelligence. That's big. And that also goes to play into another story that I think is maybe combined here, that when it comes to this, a little while ago, Matt Laszlo had the report that we talked about on this channel, that both Luna and Gates had been shown bodies. People there was like a big back and forth of whether or not that was actually shown. Well, Richard Dolan was on a show and he was asked a question about not that in particular, but this is what he said.
I know for sure that some of the things said within the classified setting to members of Congress are quite shocking. I mean, I know this. The members of Congress have been shocked by some of the things that they've been briefed on. Now, what are the specifics? I can guess. I don't know for sure, but I can absolutely take a wild guess. We got real alien craft in our possession. Hell yes, of course we do. There are alien beings in bodies, some living, some dead. Yes, no doubt about this. And they've learned this. So if you're a member of Congress and you feel that as a member of Congress, it's actually partly under your domain that you have some knowledge of this because you're an elected representative of the American people. And crazy as it sounds, some of them seem to believe this. So you might think, well, hell, we should know more about this. So it's a shocking thing. I think their worldview has just been rocked.
Okay, so this goes into play what Burchett was talking about, that there's a lot of people in Congress that seem to think that. Now, why is it that they think that? Now, if you listen to what Dolan is saying, that it looks like maybe that they were briefed. And if you listen to that report that Matt Laszlo had about how they were shown bodies and whatever, there seems to be more and more people inside of Congress, so maybe that's why there's this heavier push to get these hearings done. to get another public hearing out there. I actually just sat down for about an hour and a half with Danny Sheehan, and he said a lot of things very similar to this. That this will air on Tuesday on the other channel, but similar in the fact that how the hearings need to take place, the amount of stuff that should be said during that time that needs to happen in a disclosure kind of point of view through these potential witnesses, and the kind of things that the kind of witnesses that need to be brought on are the kind of witnesses that can say, I touched this thing, I did this thing, I have this thing. That's the type of stuff that maybe Congress has heard, because to hear Tim Burchett say, well, yeah, most of the people in Congress here that congressmen think that it's non-human. It's a big story, especially the fact that he hasn't really been saying much of that. So anyway, what do you guys think? Do you think this is this leading to anything? Is this more so because that's the stuff that I try to cover more on this channel, is the stuff that's going in within Congress right now, because I think that is how, regardless of what you feel about Congress and regardless of what you feel about politicians, they are the ones that are going to, if they make things happen, they are the ones that are going to present this topic to make it go mainstream. It's the closest thing. Those hearings are the one thing that if you talk to people, if you follow this topic, then you know a lot of the stuff that's going on. If you don't follow it and you just kind of wander upon it, or you talk to somebody who doesn't really know what's going on, what they will tell you is, oh yeah, they had like those hearings last year. That's what they'll say. They knew that because that was the one thing that was covered pretty heavily by all news outlets. So if Congress is pushing pretty hard to get more of these things done, I don't know. I've been pessimistic the last couple of weeks. You guys know. Maybe this could be a turning point. Maybe not. Maybe it's all talk. I don't know. What say you guys? How do you feel about this? Do you think that Congress knows more? Not the overall government that's been hiding this thing. We know that, whatever it might be. I'm talking about the people that are involved in this thing right now, whether it's Burchett, Moskowitz, Chuck Schumer, Matt Gaetz, AOC, whoever it might be, all those people who are involved in it. Do you think they know a lot that has indeed changed their worldview? What say you? Go ahead and comment. Tell me what you think. Thanks for joining me here today. I appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.